Well, National Security Analyst Arash Aramesh joins us now from San Francisco to talk more about this. So why the talk of an extension? I mean, if all of the reports are to be believed that both sides are as far apart as ever on the key issues here, what good is an extension going to do? Is it because the cost of failure to reach a deal for both sides is too much to contemplate?
Well, if the talks fail and we go home, and the Iranians go home and nothing is achieved and agreed upon, well, that's the end of it. And that means that the talks have failed and we will have to go into extra sanctions, perhaps await Israeli or American military action against Iran. But extending these talks might perhaps give us yet an opportunity to be able to reach a deal. But again, there are many critics of extending these talks. And the question they ask is this: if we haven't been able to reach a deal for the past year, what makes you think that you can get a deal in the next few months? So what the Iranian side has to do now in order to show good faith is to at least accept one, maybe two of John Kerry's key proposals. So when Kerry comes back, before heading back to Europe again in December to join NATO talks or go to London for another pre-scheduled meeting, what Kerry can do is to say to the Republican leadership in the House and the Senate, and many Democrats who have been critical of President Obama's flexibility towards Iran, that look at this, Iran has accepted a couple of these key terms. We still have a huge gap in terms of our agreement and where we stand and where they stand, but they are agreeing to some stuff slowly. Let's give them more time and perhaps we can talk further and hash out our differences.
Where do you think some of those differences can be bridged then? Because as we said, they are far apart on the two crucial points of contention: the uranium, Iran's uranium enrichment, and sanctions relief that the Western nations are offering. Where do you see on the specific points where there could be some agreement here?
Yes, Iran wants immediate sanctions relief. That's not going to happen. And the U.S. And its Western allies want a very, very limited Iranian capability in terms of enrichment, so it doesn't go down the route of getting an atomic bomb. Iran has got to accept the fact that on the American side, even the hands of President Obama are tied to some extent. A lot of these sanctions that Iran wants relieved and removed have nothing to do with presidential executive orders. Yeah, if you look at the sanctions regime, you got congressional orders that are the toughest to remove. Then you got Treasury sanctions and some executive orders, and the president can, to some extent, relieve. So perhaps Iran can offer more inspections, be much more transparent to the IAEA about its facilities. The chairman of the executive director of the International Atomic Energy Agency just a couple days ago criticized Iran for not having met some of the major demands that the IAEA had. So at this point, Iran has to realize this. This is the best deal they can possibly get. This has been President Obama has been the most flexible president in terms of dealing with the Iranian nuclear issue. If these talks fail, Iran is never going to get a deal this good. A future president, a Republican or a Democrat, is not going to be as flexible as President Obama and his diplomatic team have been towards Iran and its nuclear program.
Good to speak with you on this. Arash Aramesh joining us there from San Francisco. Thank you.